Hi, welcome to my channel and to another episode of SKS Myth. Today we're going to talk about why the Yugo SKS has no chrome line in its bores. It's the only country to manufacture their SKS throughout the whole production with no chrome line bores. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about that. It began obviously quite a few decades ago, and to be fair, back then there was no internet, and so it led to speculation that the country of Yugoslavia had no chrome mines. Okay, and of course it's sort of a snowball. It just went on for decades and decades, even to the very day today. People still think the former country of Yugoslavia had no chrome mines, which is not true. Today I have the advantage of using the internet. And if you were to just Google Yugoslavia chrome mines, the first two that pops up, one is a CIA report and the other one is a Wikipedia natural resource of Kosovo. Okay, but let's talk about the old CIA report, which was declassified back in 2012. Okay, so if you were to hit that, the first page that you get, I'm going to read this to you because I think it's important. It says, the highly productive and varied minerals wealth of Yugoslavia is also known to Moscow, and it caused the Kremlin to place Yugoslavia in the role of raw material supplier within the framework of the Eastern Bloc. Thus, Yugoslavia delivered its ore, etc., to Russia, Poland, and Czechoslovakia, and other Eastern Bloc states from 1945 on, and was supposed to receive badly needed machinery and other industrial products in return. However, particularly from Russia, these deliveries arrived in small quantities and were such inferior quality that Tito, who was the former leader of Yugoslavia at the time, and his ambitious co-workers decided to stand on their own feet. The expansion program for Yugoslav heavy industry was drawn up in an ambitious and pompous 5-year plan. Export of raw materials to Eastern Bloc countries were curbed and delivery to the Western country market started, which was an unpleasant blow to the economic plans of Kremlin. This economic self-determination of Tito was the cause of dispute between Yugoslavia and the Soviet Union. Okay, so basically what it was is that they were supposed to get machinery and other equipment from Russia and other places for exchange of their minerals, which of course wasn't coming through. Now, if you were to go down to page 10 of the same report, oh, by the way, this report, from what I can figure out, was done up during the Second World War, and it was up to the early 1950s. This report was written up. And on page 10, it says chromium. And it says that Yugoslavia also possesses chromium deposit. Okay, I'm not going to say where the vicinity is because I can't pronounce it. And it was shipped prior to the war to the United States and England. Okay. And this region was occupied by the Bulgarians during the war, and the chrome ore obtained was an important factor in the German/Bulgarian exchange. So there you have it. They have enough chrome for the Bulgarians to occupy these regions. And also it says annual production amounted to 44,000 tons in 1939. Okay, so here you are, the CIA declassified report that says chromium, they do have chromium, and they were producing prior to the war 44,000 tons. But that doesn't tell us after the war, did they run out or were they still producing? So that's what the next one, it says natural resource of Kosovo. And if you were to open that, the Wikipedia, and go down to the section of chromium, and it would say that it up to 2008, the total chromium production was around 102 million tons. So yeah, right up to 2008, they produced 102 million tons. That's a lot. So there you have it. So they do have a lot of chrome. However, and here, but I do know that the neighbor, Albania, is next door. And Albania apparently has even bigger chromium deposit. And what I read is that Yugoslavia would actually ship their chromium to Albania for refining, because there's no point of setting up a whole refinery since your neighbor already has one and they have a bigger deposit. Okay, so I searched about why Yugo SKS has no chrome line. Okay, so now we establish that the country of Yugoslavia has chrome. But why did this Yugo SKS has no chrome line bores? And so I Googled and found a posting by a member named PAP at the SKS boards. And he actually wrote to the historian of the factory that produced this. And obviously, I'll try to pronounce the factory. It's Kragujevac factory. And Mr. Branko Bogdanovic is the historian. And he was asked why there is no chrome line board. And he says, he's basically said, no, they do have the technology of producing chrome. Well, and nickel existed in Slovenia steel mill in 1950. Obviously, they had that technology of producing chromium way before 1950, as we can see. It was producing even during the Second World War. However, he did say, but the technology actually applying the hard chrome in the barrel began in 1970, and the first to receive that was an M70 automatic rifle, which is the Yugo version of the Kalashnikov, which is the AK-47. But you know, I'm a little perplexed with that statement. If technology is intangible, well, if they don't have the technology to apply the hard chrome, then why don't they go get it? I mean, after all, Russia basically gave them the rights to produce this. Why wouldn't Russia give them the technology of applying the chrome line bores? Okay, see, that doesn't make any sense to me. You give somebody like 95%, but you hold back 5%. Well, that doesn't make sense. And why would they hold back the technology to applying chrome to the bores to Yugoslavia when they actually, you know, they helped China set up their whole entire SKS factory? Matter of fact, they even shipped the tooling in and even advisors to China. So, see, that I don't quite understand that part. Plus, if, let's say, some people are saying that, oh, Russia withheld that, but that doesn't make any sense. And if Russia doesn't want to give it to you, well, then why don't you get it from China? Because China actually went next door to Albania and helped them set up their SKS, because Albania was closer to China at the time. And China basically helped Albania with their development of their SKS. And not only that, when the production shortfall, China actually gave them a bunch of their own SKS, which, by the way, in the last 5 years, some shipment out of Albania came to the United States, Chinese-made SKS. So obviously, Yugoslavia and Albania are friends. They ship their chromium for refinery at Albania. So why won't Albania share their technology of applying, right? Albania has chrome-lined bores, so why wouldn't they share? Also, there was something I'm a little confused with, or don't understand. If they did finally produce AK-47 with chrome-lined bores in 1970, then why did this continue to have no chrome-lined bores right up to the end of the 80s? So for another almost 2 decades, the AK-47 was produced with chrome-lined bores, but still this did not. So that leads me to believe that it has nothing to do with lack of chrome mines, nothing to do with Russia withholding the technology of applying chrome to the bores. It's more to do with actually probably applying the chrome into the barrel bore is a long process, costly process at the time, and they just rather not spend it on something like this. Considering this is also a semi-auto, they felt their soldiers could easily maintain by meticulously cleaning it and maintaining it. So I think that is possible. That is a better reason than the country has no chrome mines and Russia withholding the technology of applying chrome into the bores. So that's basically it. So thank you for being with me. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.